What's up guys, Jeff here from TheFloatLife. Let's go quick on this one. Let's not throw any fluff in the beginning. We're gonna go right into it. We're doing MTE install today. Pretty stoked on this one. It's pretty straightforward. What you wanna do is get your board to this spot. If you don't know how to get your board to this spot, check out our tire change video. You'll be able to do it, no problem. So here we go. Once you're here, I find it's easier to actually pull out the valve stem core. There you go. Because that way when you pull out the stator, you can actually like grip it like this with your feet, which is pretty sweet. So pull it out, flip it over, and we'll want to remove all of these screws. What are there, 7 screws? Yeah, 7 screws. Pull all those guys out. Alrighty, once you have all those out, what you'll want to do is get a not trash block, basically a little piece of wood or something soft that's not too hard that you can use to push the axle from this side in order to pop up the plate on the other side. I usually do this on the ground, but let's see if we can do this on the table. Oh yeah, sweet. Cool, that guy's up. Now you want to put your, you could have done this step before that one, but regardless, you want to put an axle block back on there so that you've got something to grab onto. And it doesn't even need to be tight. You just want to catch a few threads in there. There we go. Cool. And now you want to pull the stator straight out of the hub. I like to do this spot on the ground. So Julian, follow me to the ground. And I like to pinch it like this with my shoes, grab it with 2 hands and just pull it straight out and up. Easy as that. And then you take this 6.5-inch hub and you just go ahead and just gonna put that in storage for later. Now, once you got the stator, you need to pull off the hub plate cover. So that should pull straight up right there. When you're removing this part, you wanna be careful. One thing to look out for is that you don't agitate the little PCB right here that's on the motor. These are all your Hall sensors right here. So those can easily be broken, or you can like catch a little disconnect on them or break a solder joint. Be very careful not to do that. So when you're trying to pull this up, make sure your fingers are away from it. Just a little pro tip for you. Don't ask me how I know that you can break that part, because I may have broken it once or 7 times. So go ahead and pop that off. Pull that hub plate cover off. There you go. All right, once you got your stator out here, you'll want to grab your new hub and make sure all your screws are removed from the lip and pull this guy out. If you're having trouble pulling it out, again, go to the ground with these things and pull straight up. Make it easy, boom, no problem. Once you have that off, we'll put our new hub plate cover on. Go ahead and slide that over. Oh, while you're in here, you should actually check out your gaskets really quick and make sure that your O-rings are good. So check your O-rings on both sides, make sure they're solid. If they're torn up, because a lot of times they'll actually get pinched and sheared when originally putting the motor together. So make sure those are good. If they're not good, replace them. If they are good, you're good to go. And go ahead and get that guy on and then push down. There we go, should snap right into place like that. And then you want to put your axle block back on. Again, just kind of finger tight. Doesn't need to be crazy tight, but get a few good thread turns in there. And once that's on, here's the scary part, okay? So we're gonna drop the stator back into the new 5-inch MTE hub right here. So this part's a little scary. This part like snaps in really fast. So make sure you're doing this part on the floor on like some soft carpet or something. Go ahead and set it on the ground. Pinch it with both of your feet. Hold it perfectly straight over the top. And you wanna slowly, slowly, slowly go down in, making sure that you are completely centered, and then it's gonna suck on down real fast. There it goes. And it sucks on down, and then you'll wanna line the holes up, the screw holes, and then give it a nice push down. There you go. Now time to install the screws. So in your little screw bag, you should have a bit right here that'll fit them. And what you want to do on these is it's good to do them in like a star pattern. So again, if you're using power tools, make sure your torque settings are the lowest they can possibly go so you don't screw anything up. But if you get it started and then go to the exact opposite side, get that one started, go over to the other side, get it started, and get all these started, kind of working your way in a star pattern all the way across it. And once you get them all kind of in, now we'll want to tighten them all down, again in a star pattern. There we go. And once you get them all in, then we're gonna want to crank them all down a little bit tighter, just to make sure they're nice and secure in there. Cool, and that's pretty much it right there. You can pop your axle block off and put a tire on, go ahead and reassemble your board, and you are good to go. And then just a couple of best practices and things that I've noticed that you can kind of screw up if you don't pay attention. When you do go to change your tire in the future, it's important that before you pull off this hub plate right here, you actually completely depressurize the tire, because I've forgotten to do that before. And then you pull the hub plate off and it's completely off, and then the tire is still all pressurized on there, and then the bead will pop and it scares the living daylights out of you because it goes bah! You're like, ah, and you think you die, your life flashes before your eyes, but it's actually completely fine. It's just really scary. So make sure you depressurize your tire before you pull this hub plate off if you're doing tire changes and you're planning on pulling the hub plate off. One other thing, the valve stem on here, it's actually a 90-degree valve stem that flips in and out. Because the hub is so small and compact, we had to save room, so this 90-degree stem really helps with ease of fill up. Instead of using a little shorty that's kind of really difficult to use, this thing's great. And it works a lot better with cold ones, with float blocks. So after you fill it up, don't forget to push this back down 90 degrees here into the hub before you start riding, because if you forget and you just leave it out here, it's gonna flip around, it's gonna clip on your axle blocks, it's gonna clip on your cold ones, it's gonna make horrible sounds, it's gonna trash that sucker, and then you gotta replace it. So just make sure after you fill it up, push it on down, and you're good to go. So that's it, guys. That's how you install your 5-inch MTE hubs. I know you guys are gonna love them. I've been on them for a long time now, and they are sweet. I cannot even go back to the 6-inch hubs. It's just like, it's the way to go. So anyway, that's it. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, hit me down in the comments or shoot me an email, jeff@TheFloatLife, and I'll see you guys out there on the trails. Float on, my friends. Did you guys see the Easter egg? Did you see a sweet little Easter egg with the Pioneer? The early prototype Pioneer that's totally not in the right shape yet, and we're gonna get it completely dialed before we drop it. This thing's freaking sweet, man. Later.